Researchers say that when you repeatedly experience the fight or flight stress response in your daily life, it can raise blood pressure, suppress the immune system, increase the risk of heart attack and stroke, speed up the aging process, and leave you vulnerable to a host of mental and emotional problems. Many students experience pressure especially during exam period. So I decided to visit one of the local universities, Deisa University, to find out how students are dealing with stress during this exam period. My name is Diana Micheka, and this is Your Health.
This week is exams time. So how are you dealing? I'm sure right now many students are stressed out with exams. So how are you handling your stress?
By avoiding it.
What do you mean? What do you mean by avoiding? You avoid exams?
No. I avoid thinking about exams. Yes, I know I have to study, but if it reaches to the point where I'm stressed about studying, I don't study until the stress level is reduced. Then I study when I'm feeling relaxed.
Okay. So what about the normal days, like when there's no exams? When there's just life, someone else's stresses you, maybe your girlfriend or your family, or how do you handle stress?
That's hard. I don't think I have a technique of handling stress. I think it's time. With time,
it just goes.
Yeah.
What do you mean it goes?
Time heals, man. Time heals, and as time goes on, you have more things to focus on apart from the things that stress you. Like if a girlfriend is stressing me, I have school.
For example, if a girlfriend leaves you, and you really love that person, so how would you handle it?
I wouldn't be stressed, but anyway, if I was, I'd focus on other things. That's how I try to live. Yeah, you focus on the things that really matter, because regardless of whether you have a girlfriend or not, you have to graduate. Regardless of whether you have a girlfriend or not, you have responsibilities, so you focus on those. I try to focus on the things that have to.
Okay. So if someone comes, wrongs you, like let's say for example, if someone steals something from you, or it doesn't necessarily have to be something practical, something else, probably money or anyway, something. If someone steals something from you, and then this is the person who stole it, so how do you go and how do you handle such a situation?
I'm a confrontational person. If something is really intense, I believe in talking about it.
Right.
However, how that talk will be, I don't know. Sometimes it gets bad, sometimes it gets good. Sometimes I lose my temper.
Wow.
But I believe in addressing the issue as soon as possible. Because people think that Nyamazia is wise, but it's not.
So
People implode.
Yeah. Different people have different ways of relieving their stresses. Okay, so what about for the students, those people who indulge in drugs, alcohol, sex? What can you advise them?
Don't. Stop. It's that simple. People like to be deep about issues and things they should and shouldn't do, but it's that simple. If you're doing drugs, stop.
Okay.
That's what I will tell them. It's not about that you seek God, seek Nini. God is already there. They're just not looking.
Okay, so they should stop.
Stop. Yeah, it's that simple.
For me, first of all, I usually say that I've never had exam stress that much, because I'm the kind of student who from day one starts reading her books or revising for projects. Rather revising for exams, and if it's projects, I start as early as I can. So it's rare. It's on a rare occasion that I get exam stress or exam fever, as many students call it. So I usually wonder myself, why run around while you're just a student, you're not even working, and you have exam fevers, So I usually say, if you're a student, just be a student. Do what a student has to do. And part of being a student means that you have to also revise for your exams prior to the exam time.
Okay, so to make it a little bit wider in the real sense that it's life apart from school. So you experience family pressure, this pressure from relationship with girlfriends, boyfriends, and all that. And I'm sure one of them boyfriends. So how do you handle stress?
Okay, first of all, I know most of the students now currently who are in the university have a bit stress, it's relationships, maybe, and exams. But for me, I'd say how I handle stress. Relax, because I usually know that at the end of the day, I'll have to fix this problem, and whatever means I'll use possibly, which is also a very positive, of course, approach. I'll make sure that at the end of the day I've fixed myself. So I usually know how to handle myself. I usually say if I have a problem, then I'm supposed to fix it. So stress is a problem, I'll fix it. Yeah.
How do you handle yourself?
My stress through going out and playing a couple of sports like basketball.
I usually go to the gym and do some aerobics and Zumba.
Okay, nice. And then after that, you feel like the stress has
Oh
gone.
my gosh, I feel relieved.
Yeah.
Depends on what the stress is all about. If it's work stress, if the stress is from the workplace, I'll just walk out. If it's too much, I'll just walk out and go home. Spend the day off, then come the following morning fresh. If it's stress from,
Relationships.
yes, girlfriends and friends, I know that I'll have to take some time, hang out with some friends, and talk it out, some of the issues that are affecting my relationship.
The human being, we're made up of various factors or various components that come together. There's the physical self, what people see. There's the spiritual, when you pray or whoever you believe in. There's the emotional, what you feel towards others and what others feel towards you. There's the sexual part of humans, the sexual component. And now there's the psychological, the brain. Now, when you talk about stress, you're probably or mainly just focusing on the psychology of a person. Everybody is made differently and everybody reacts differently to different situations. So at one point you might find that a certain stimuli, a certain challenge is posed to a person and he or she feels that they cannot really handle it or deal with it very well. And this quote-unquote overwhelming feeling that you're unable to do something can be referred to as stress. All right, it can come in very many forms. Or maybe let's look at what causes it, or sometimes maybe that'll give a clearer picture. More often than not, stress will come from the things that are very close to us or from around us. Meaning, or an example is something that's close to us is family. You might get stress from your siblings, your wife, your husband, your partner, for whatever reasons. You'll get stress maybe from work or your colleague. And this is something that's close to you that you go to every single day. Some will get stressed maybe because of personal decisions they made, whether it's financial decisions you took, whether it's commitments you took, or whatever other reasons. So stress more often than not, it comes from us to us. We start it and it's within us. Now, a good example, a simple example I've given commonest is you might say, my children are stressing me. Probably because you're unable to pay the fees, or when you're able to pay fees, you find that they go to school and they cut class, or they don't go to class, or they're unable to finish, or they just want whatever is different from what you want. And in the process, it means when you're paying for them the fees, you're stepping on other things. You probably wanted to invest in something, but you're unable to do so. So you feel that you're wasting or spending money on this child of yours, and nothing is coming out of it. When you could have done something else, maybe build a house and get money out of it. So you'll see in two ways that it's a lose-lose situation for your baby, because baby is not progressing, your investment that you would have done is not picking up, so you feel stagnated, and this sometimes tends to make somebody feel like they're going to implode, and how do I get out of this vicious cycle? That's just a simple example. Stress will be caused by many things. Of course, commonest, again, we won't go into the details, is about medical. Example, if you're diagnosed with cancer or you're told you have a life-changing condition, that also has a very big impact on you psychologically. Okay, but that we won't go to because it's a whole different topic on its own. So generally, how does it become overwhelming? Many people have different strategies of coping with stress. Now, there are those that are called maladaptive or not good, in which people say niko na stress, ano acha nikakunywa chupa mbili. Or when nasikia niko na stress, let me go and have a cigarette. Those are known as maladaptive, where people deal with stress in different ways. The bad ones we've said, smoking, drinking. Some people become hypersexual and just say, maybe this will get the stress out of me. So all this, why they're called maladaptive is that they're doing more harm than good. Alright, because example, if you go as you smoke, you're still damaging your body, injuring your body, but not really getting a solution to whatever is causing the stress. Now they're the good ones, so to say, which are recommended. Some will tell you maybe take a walk, think about it. Some will tell you try and jog, try and swim, try and get some physical exertion. Others may say if you enjoy singing, go find somewhere and just sit and try sing, join a singing group or a choir. So all this is just various ways. And I've said that each individual has different coping mechanisms. That's what they're called.
Yeah.
Coping mechanisms, just to try and, they're like shock absorbers, to try and deal with the stress and at least get it out of your system. Now, prevention or how to overcome it. Prevention of stress, really, it's very difficult to say that you're going to prevent stress. It means if you don't have any stress, probably you're dead. Everybody will have stress or a form of stress from one thing or the other. But now, how much of it can you take is what will determine whether it becomes properly stressed. And also, should you become stressed, can you be able to deal with it? Coping mechanism, should you be faced with a problem you can't find, you don't know what to do with it? There's many avenues, therapy being one of them, where you can seek and consult somebody. Therapy not necessarily from a physician or from a psychiatrist. It could be from your husband, your wife, your partner, your colleague. It could be from anybody. Someone to talk to and at least give you a solution or an angle that you've not seen for whatever problem it is that is causing the stress. That's the commonest, easiest way. But many times you tend to feel that if you share your problem with somebody, they take it negatively and use it against you. So people, mtu anakufa nayo. They say, I'm going to stay with my problems. But remember, a problem shared is a problem half solved. So that's already a good way to start it over. Recognizing signs and symptoms of stress is very difficult. The extreme or the worst case scenario of stress, of course, it can lead to depression, and depression now will lead to suicide. So you need to stop this vicious cycle of it. And this is worse, especially with people who are very quiet and introverts more often than not, who do not know how to express themselves. So trying and recognizing stress in a person can be a bit of a challenge, especially one who doesn't really open up or talk about it. So the only thing is probably advice for your loved ones, should you be married or should you have children, keep engaging them constantly so that you know when they're happy, and you can easily tell when they're sad. This is called perception. When you go home and you see your husband or your wife or your child is not talking to you the way they normally do, and you ask them what happened in school. Alright, that's perception. You can tell there's something wrong. So the more you engage the people around you, the easier it is to tell them mood change, and the easier it is for them to open up and tell you there's something which has been bugging me. So that's one way of kind of screening it, and the more you talk, the more it gets out of you. As I've said again, almost in conclusion, everybody has different abilities to absorb stress. Some children, example, give a sad example, child who's grown up as an orphan in the streets and eventually makes it in life, and one who's had everything from being dropped in school, beautiful college, and they all work in the same place. If they're both given an assignment, example, and they're unable to finish, this one who came off the streets and what he or she has been through will probably make him or her better deal or be able to deal with the stress better than the other one who's almost had everything on a silver spoon. So your background and your past experiences and your past knowledge will really determine on how much of the stress you can take and how you can deal and handle it. So it's a very sensitive topic. It affects everybody. But again, it's very easy to deal with it. Just first thing, identify the stressors. Second thing, know your limits. Third thing, know how to get the stress out of you. And fourth, know how to avoid them and to keep going.
Me, I beat around the bush, and then maybe if it's too much, then that's when I'll approach the person face to face. But generally, most of the time, I just beat around the bush.
Okay.
Not immediately when the problem occurred, a little bit later when now we are a bit sober enough to address the problem.
I'll come to you and tell you. I'll just tell you that the chenye umenifanyia si poa. Yeah.
Yeah, and you feel like
I don't nini around the bush. No. I'll come and tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Unichukia unipende. That's your problem.
Stress is part of our lives. It's part of our daily lives. And some people know how to deal with stress, while others don't.
there you have it. Now you know. I've been your host, Diana Mitcheka.